is the panic run over when it comes to the currencies, in particular sterling?
I think for the short term, I think everyone's just focusing on what's going to happen in the next 2-3 months, considering how bad things were for the first 6 months of the year. And I think over the summertime, I think things will calm down a bit. But if you look in kind of the year-end outlook, you're still going to get the pound weakening. So we think it will break 130 and head towards 128.
128
Yes.
is where we're still headed. Over what period of time?
This is towards the year-end. That's our year-end target.
Towards the end of the year.
Yes.
So what sort of view do you have, Sean, on what the Bank of England's going to do in terms of monetary policy, which obviously could be a big driver of sterling?
Yes, I think so. And I think this is going to be a general trend of more monetary easing coming through. So we do think that they will have to ease further in the coming months. UK will likely go into a recession, and that will start or continue on with the pound weakness.
Mm-hmm. Would you see the ECB following suit as well?
Yes, that's the other one. And I think that is a little bit tougher. They can always go out further on the risk curve in terms of what kind of assets they come out. But I think we do like to see the TLTRO pick up a bit, because the banks are where they're having
Do you agree? Do you agree with Sean?
Yeah, no, I think you know, as I said, this is a big uncertainty shock. To avoid a recession, you know, central banks are going to have to move, starting with the Bank of England. But I think the ECB is not immune to this either. They have to look after their Eurozone.
So do you also think, as Sean just said, that the UK could well go into recession?
Well, it could. We've taken down our forecast. We did have 2% for the UK economy next year. We've pulled that down to 1%, and there's certainly some downside risk.
Okay. What's your forecast in terms of growth then for the UK?
Yes, it will go. We do think it will go towards recession, that it would have to hit this below zero negative growth rate. So, I mean, things are uncertain. But I think more it's really about how this translates into the US. And that's what, sitting in Asia, is what we're worried about. How the US and the Fed reacts to all this.
Well, okay, well, what do you think is going to happen? I mean, Paul was saying earlier that his expectations for the Federal Reserve are now way out at the end of the year, December, in terms of any move on rates. You were still looking for a hike, though, aren't you, in December? Not a cut?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so we've had over the last couple of days a couple of experts on the program saying, you know what, they were looking for a hike, but now they're in fact looking for a cut. Where are you on that?
Yes, at SCB, we are in similar camp. We're looking for a December hike still. It will be pretty dovish over the summer, so the dollar will suffer from that. But towards the year end, I think the dollar starts to make its way back.